You're listening to the VORTX podcast, featuring interviews with your favorite artists. Here's your host, Ethan Jackson.
Hey, it's Ethan. Today we are hanging out with our guest 0936, not 936, even though there's a song on the new EP that might lead you to believe that. It's 0936. How you doing, brother?
Good. I was like, I've been debating that, but like, so the first EP, the intro song is called One by One. The second EP is called Two by Two, the intro, and then so this one is called 936 and the three. So that's from a show that we played in West Virginia.
Okay.
It's like a it was like off of a GoPro, that like intro, that like chanting intro, and so I was like, I gotta, hey, listen, this is not my fault. If anybody else is confused, it's a Shiley Acres show from like 2022 or something like that.
No,
So.
It's great. I think it's fun. That song, that's probably my new favorite Zero song.
Oh, wow.
I love it. It's fantastic. I've been listening to it all morning. So
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting that I did a little bit of an updated version of it, and I think you'll like it more too. So
okay. Yeah, because I think I just had the demo.
Yeah, it's like 6 songs.
Yeah.
In like yeah.
Sick. Well, hey, none of us are getting out. The new EP, it's out July 19th. I know you've been working on this for a while, haven't you?
So initially, yeah, it was supposed to be like the songs that I have out now, Stuck in My Ways, The Fear, even I'm Not, Break, and Self-Destruct. It was supposed to be those 5, the intro, and then the outro song that we have. And that was supposed to be the EP. And then some label stuff, and then now we're independent. We're fully independent now, so we don't have the rights to those songs. So we started putting together this other one, and it's also, now that I'm thinking about it, the EP name also came from a show we played in Virginia. I don't know. Maybe I should move to Virginia, not Nashville. I don't know. And we like walked outside. We were playing this headline show. I forget the venue, but it was in Virginia. And me and my drummer Jake from Gideon, he was like, talking to me the entire tour about what the EP title was going to be, and we didn't know. And then we walk outside, and it was just spray painted on the side of the building. It just said, "None of us are getting out," like massive. And then we were just talking about this, so I was like, "Well, there we go." So that was the EP title that we got in 2021 for these songs that were already out. And then we pivoted, and I kept the name. So
no, that's legit. I did notice that you've done a lot of like features in the last few years, collaborations with other people, Atreyu, Hollywood Undead, bunch of them. No features on this record. It's just you. And I thought that was a solid choice. Like, I love the collaborations, but this really felt like a chance for you to shine.
Yeah, and I feel like also a lot of people ask me to do features for them, and I think I'm going to go more into that this year as opposed to having them on my songs, because I do have a lot of fun like doing, especially people either want me to do a hook or they want me to rap a verse or something, and I think it'll be just as effective if I could just do it on everybody else's stuff and then kind of keep this project to myself. Next project, I'm sure I'll have, the whole thing might have features. I don't know, because I love collaboration. I think that was like the one thing that rock music was missing that rap music was not missing. It's like Drake Future, not right now and not ever again apparently, but Drake in Future would drop 45 songs and everybody would be like, awesome, we love that. And then in rock music, you don't ever get collabs. If you do, it's one. You know what I mean? So I think I'm just going to do more features this year for other people, and I don't know, I have a few that I already did this year that are coming out after the EP, so I'm stoked on it. I think it'll be good.
Yeah, that's cool. You mentioned the lack of features. I didn't notice. It kind of felt like features were gatekept a little bit for a while until like 5-10 years ago.
I feel like in rock music, like I know there's been other albums like that have had features on them, but I feel like the whole collaborative process is like, and now you got like Motionless and Knock Loose doing like Slaughterhouse 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool, and it was always like a thing where I did one with Atreyu, and then I had Atreyu on my thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that would be kind of the new normal. I don't know why it's not, but I think collaboration is like literally the only way to get into other people's fan bases entirely.
Yeah.
So
it's cool. Yeah. I think that there's this thought process with rock music, I think too, where fans have this sort of like, I don't know, standard where they want the bands that they listen to write every word of their, like, you know what I mean? And so it's, if it's written by somebody else or if somebody else touches it, there's
Yeah.
this whole like stigma.
I do. I know. And like, that's the other thing too. Like, everybody knows that Drake has a bunch of ghostwriters and nobody cares. I don't
Yeah.
care, and I think because you'll hear these demos or these reference tracks and be like, oh, well, that's why they didn't keep it for themselves. That's why they gave it to Drake.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I do think I do agree. I wonder if fans would be okay with it knowing that both artists were in the room entirely for the
Right.
whole process. Even who wrote what doesn't matter, you know.
Yeah.
Like Break with me and Atreyu, like we spent 2 days together and wrote that song together. I think
Right.
Brandon wrote a majority of the hook that I sang, and then I wrote a majority of his verse that he rapped. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's
Yeah.
I don't know, and it came out sounding unique. So
For sure. You mentioned you're independent for the first time in a minute. Was that a, I don't know, what, when we talked a couple years ago, I know that you had some hangups with some songs. And so was it like a frustration on both sides? How did that all come to be? Because I personally, I like, there are benefits to both sides, and I think independent artists are fun. And so I'm just
yeah,
curious about this. Yeah.
yeah. So we became like fully independent technically after we dropped I Felt It All. We kind of had a loophole to get I Felt It All out in January, a little earlier. So we got that out, and then we're like fully independent as of like last month, and that's when I started kind of rolling out the EP, getting the dates and everything done. My only hangups with the label, because everybody at the label was great, but and I love my A&R that I had over there, P. Gambarg, but everybody got fired, and I had an entirely different team by the end of last year. It was like just Pete Gambarg that was left out of everybody, literally everybody that I started that on that label with.
Yeah.
So kind of just got to a point where it was like an exit or like a resign, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. No, it's cool though. This is also your first release with a vinyl pressing, right?
I was gonna say, like, we could never get the major labels to do it, because these major labels like Atlantic has Ed Sheeran, and if he needs 4 million vinyls, he's jumping in the front of the line. Understandably, they
Yep.
don't need to press 1,000 of my 7-song EP. You know what I mean? Like, they just don't need to do that.
Right.
And these majors have contracts with these vinyl press plants and stuff like that. But now that we're independent, we can just say, hey, who can get us this in 8 weeks? And then whoever's like, we got you. You could just. So I'm very stoked on the vinyl. I've been begging for years. So
Have you gotten a test press yet?
no, we get the masters back entirely, I think tomorrow or the next day.
Okay.
And so they have like the artwork, the back cover, and the center sticker, and I sent over everything last week. So do that, and then sure we'll get a test press in like a week, and then we should be getting them a few weeks before the 19th.
Sweet, man. That's legit. Did you do all the artwork for it? Because I know you design merch and stuff for you and then other bands as well.
Yeah. No, I did. There's a guy, his name is Christopher McKinney. His name is McAllister on Instagram, and he's like the sickest photographer I've ever seen in my entire life. So I hit him up, and he was busy. And then I kept hitting him up. I was like, hey, man, you sure you want to do this? He's like, I'd love to do this. And I was like, cool. And then I was like, and I just kept DMing him. And then he actually had like that photo shoot already. And
Okay.
so I sent him the music. I said, hey, man, like I'm like this photograph is like unbelievable. So then he ended up being like, you can have it. I was like, let's go. So
There you go.
very, very excited. It's probably one of the coolest photos I've ever seen in my life. And I feel like it connected like meaning wise with the project so well. Just like the two characters, and I could get into it, but I'm very excited.
No, it's rad. I think that on this record too, you've got some of the heaviest material you've put out, because we've talked before, like some of the earlier material comes across heavier live, but
Yeah.
this, I feel like you went all the way in on the
Yeah.
record, specifically Underneath, like
Yeah.
that chugs near the end, like it's
Yeah.
fantastic. So what was
Thank
the
you.
decision to maybe go a little heavier this time around?
I think starting because obviously or not obviously, said obviously, like this is a like a thing that everybody gets as a sticky note on their fridge when they buy a home. I started making rap music first, right? So like when I transitioned from just doing strictly rap music into rock music, because we were doing, my producer No Love, who still produces all my stuff, he started with me in Philadelphia, and then we were making rap music, and then it was rap music with guitars, and then it was rap music with guitar solos, and then it was rap music with live drums, guitars, and guitar solos. We were like, what are we doing? So then the first EP that we had, we like didn't lean fully heavy. And then the second one, I think we started to have a few more like, I wouldn't even say heavier songs, but like heavier, like The End was on there and things like that. And then when I started touring in 2021 after COVID, it was the guys from Gideon that were playing with me live. So then me and Tyler, the guitar player, me and Caleb, the bass player from Gideon, started writing music together. So on, I think the first song that we put out together, The Fear, Caleb did the breakdown in The Fear. And then Underneath was produced by Cody from Wage War.
Oh, yeah.
So I wrote and produced that one with Cody. And then Caleb did the breakdown and the outro. So it's kind of like call back to The Fear, because I wanted something sort of similar to that I own, because I don't own The Fear. Yeah. So I was like, kind of, let's get back to it.
For sure. Cody is a wild man. Like, that guy is incredibly talented with songwriting.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And an incredible singer and an incredible guitar player. It's crazy.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he's insane.
You toured with those guys, the Wage War guys. With did you do did they do a headliner with you? Because I know you were on the tour with 3 Days Grace.
Yeah, so we did that, and then that was like August 2022, and then July 2023 we did their headline tour in Canada.
Okay, that show in Wichita was hot as balls.
That was terrible. That was one of the worst shows
God.
I played in my life. I felt like I was gonna pass out every time the song ended. Like it was like I was like, when we were playing the songs, I was like, oh, this is nothing. And then like I guess it's, I don't know, it's an adrenaline or something, but song ends and you're like, oh no, I gotta get it, I gotta go. And I think Cody, Jelly Roll's drummer, had to fly in that show to fill in because Steven from Wage had a wedding. Yeah. And it's like, buddy, wrong show to agree to fly in for.
Dude, for real. Well, I was happy for you because they had that venue has that indoor area where they sold merch. And so you could like go inside and chill for a little bit in the air conditioning.
I just be like, bro, I was in there all night. I didn't leave. Yeah. I went straight back. I was like, yo, I'm gonna be back there. Come say what's up. I'm not leaving.
I got there a little early to I interviewed Britton. And they took me out of the bus and I was like, oh, thank God we're not doing this outside.
No.
I was like, no, this is thank you.
Yeah. There was a few shows like that. There was one that we played at Stubbs Barbecue in Austin, Texas. You ever been there?
I've not, but it's on my list.
It's, first of all, they give you barbecue like when you play, like, so I love that. So that's one of, makes it one of my top venues. But it was so hot that like one of our cables melted on our rig, and the whole thing just shut off. And the only thing that was working was like one wired microphone. Mm-hmm. So I'm like talking to the crowd, and like I just give the mic to the crowd. Like, anybody got any jokes you want to tell? Someone told a joke. Boo. So anyway, yeah, that was probably the hottest show I ever played. That was terrible. Sheesh. It was dusty. So the Wichita show was super dusty too.
It was, because that's like that venue has gravel, and everybody's walking around kicking it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Reminded me of like we played Incarceration, and there's like, you just get like the full dust cloud from the grass.
Yeah.
That was hot that day. Yeah. But
geez, what are your touring plans for this year for the EP? Are you going to do any headline stuff?
Yeah, we're definitely trying to put together headline stuff. We just took an offer for a tour in the late fall with like one of my favorite bands. So I'm very, very stoked on that. I'm not allowed to say that yet because that's not my tour, but they just announced this festival we're playing in Connecticut today. I'm doing a show with Mudvayne on my birthday in Pennsylvania. So that's cool. And yeah, I think that's it right now. We had something in May, but it fell through because one of the family members of the band that was headlining couldn't make it because they had some family stuff. So don't want to say what that is, but yeah, so that kind of sucked. It kind of screwed our whole plans for like going forward, not accepting tours in the summer because it would overlap with that thing or radius, this and that. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, so hopefully we'll do a headline near the end and then do that other tour that I was talking about just now, right after.
Right on, man. Well, hey, I know you're a big horror guy too, right? Like
Yeah.
you're all sleeved up. You've got Chucky
Yeah.
on one of those arms, right?
My other sleeve is not horror. Hold on. Let me. So this one, I mean, maybe it looks scary. I don't know. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So that then I got my cats though. So I
dude,
got
those are the worst. Those are that inner arm hurts so bad.
for some reason I can deal with this like in here way better than I can deal with the outside of my arm. Like like the
Really?
bomb tattoo spot.
Yeah,
Can't do it because I'm like fully up
yeah,
here. I'm like in my armpit, like fully.
yeah.
I
Dang.
was, but yeah, the outside of my arm I had to break it in like 2 sessions. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start horror like leg sleeve. It's gonna be all like traditional pieces that
Okay,
are all
sick.
like kind of their own, but they'll have some filler and stuff. So I'm excited about that. But what are some like horror movies that you've seen recently, or if you've had time to sit down and watch anything
Dude,
that you've
I have
enjoyed?
anything. Well, I saw Terrifier, obviously,
Yeah.
because everybody's seen it. I haven't seen anything aside from Next Level Chef, Gordon Ramsay show, and Shark Tank.
Okay.
That is all because I'm moving, so like selling my house and everything else. But I have not seen a single movie. Oh, I did watch Roadhouse. That's not a horror movie, but I did watch it because everybody kept saying they're like, you have to watch it. Like, I don't have time to watch this movie. So it was like midnight, and I was like, okay, I got 2 hours. Let me just. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, it's the worst movie you're ever gonna see. So like, be prepared. And is Ryan Gosling a bad actor? Is he a
That's
bad actor?
that's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal? Not Ryan Gosling. I
I
love
don't
Ryan Gosling. I'm gonna say sorry.
I don't
Ryan Gosling,
think I don't think
is he a
Jake's a
bad actor?
bad actor. I don't think so.
I always thought Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal were kind of like, and
Yeah.
I love Ryan Gosling. But Jake Gyllenhaal sucks in that movie. It's terrible. Like he just like was like dumb the whole time. He's like
Yeah.
smirking, walking everywhere. I'm like, what's going on here? Maybe that's his character. I didn't see the original Roadhouse,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was shocked. I was very shocked.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. I tend to stick to movies that are supposed to be scary on purpose, not because they're bad, you know.
I mean, like Conor McGregor was in it. Apparently, he's like the first ever like highest paid actor of all time. Like whatever, like your first movie ever.
Yeah.
Like that guy's not rich enough already.
Yeah, he's
And then
making
also
money.
all of my time watching UFC, like when I do have a free moment. But I'm gonna get back into it. Everybody keeps sending me this movie and that movie. I'm gonna try. I'm trying.
Yeah.
When I get back on tour, we'll throw them on. We'll throw them on the TV.
There you
That's
go. Got it.
my
Some
merch
in
guy throws everything on.
some in-bus entertainment. Are you guys on a bus yet? Or are you on like are you still rocking a van in a
Like a bandwagon
Yeah.
style thing. Starbus Elite is the company that we use. So there's like it's like a RV bunked out. It's kind of just like a cheaper alternative to bandwagon. So
No, for sure. I saw Alpha Wolf and Muir last night. They both had bandwagons. So
yeah,
those are popular. They're good.
they're expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like $1 a day right now.
It's
Insane.
crazy. I talked to Lockie from Alpha Wolf a few weeks ago, and I was asking him about the expenses of coming from Australia to the US to
Oh,
play. And he goes, dude, if you do like bare minimum, like nothing extra, it starts at $20,000
yeah,
just to get here. Like
yeah.
wild.
It's insane. Because I know, like, even for me, like flying like my band to Connecticut with our gear is like 5K.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you need all the visa stuff and all the paperwork and everything else. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like when we did those 5 shows with Shinedown in the UK, and just getting there and back is just so expensive. It's terrible. But we got
Yeah.
to play Wembley. I was like, it's cool. I'll do
Right.
it again. You know, I'll pay
Yeah.
for it again.
I feel like with expenses like that, you just kind of hope to break even.
Yeah, I mean, even like we're playing that fest in Connecticut, and we're playing that fest or that show with Mudvayne in May. Like we can fly in, break even, and call it a day. Then that's what it is. You know,
get the
I'll
exposure.
I'll play shows where I lose money. So,
Hey, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of the come up though, you know, is you got to, or else you're not going to end up in this space where you want to be. So
no, you can't eat if you're not like most people, 99% of people can't even do, because I don't have tour support or anything. You know what I mean? I don't have a label. So a lot of people can't even break even on a show without tour support. And we couldn't break even on a show for the first 2 years, you know? So, yeah, I think we're lucky that we can fly in to a show, break even, and go home. You know, so I'll do if I can. I'll do it every day.
That's great, man. Well, hey, the new record, or the EP, I should say, None of Us Are Getting Out, is coming out July 19th.
It is. It has to.
Vinyl is up for pre-order right now. Support tour on the way this fall. Working on some headlining dates. What else is going on in the world of Zero? I guess, did you start an Instagram Spaces thing the other day? Was I seeing some stuff with that?
I don't want to talk about it, bro. The broadcast, dude, get it out. They I don't know what they're doing. Like, they keep being like, oh, this is slightly working on another app. Let me integrate.
Yeah.
It's trash. That's trash. Threads, garbage. I got shadow banned for saying kill me. YouTube banned my video from everywhere. Like, bro, I'll normally get I don't know, on a visualizer, like a thing for YouTube that's not an actual video. I don't know, get 10K, 20K first day or two on YouTube, because who's watching YouTube videos as a card instead of using the streaming? But bro, this one is at 3K after 3 weeks because they kill me. So they just didn't send it to anybody. The only way you find it is if you're I wonder what he's up to, and you go to my video. Yeah, so that sucks. I wish I would have called it be friends with me. I'm sure it went crazy.
Just the complete opposite.
Yeah. I'm sure that would have went over real well, but that is not the reality. Yeah, I'm not even on my own front page. This is ridiculous. I do like that. I do like the end of that Taylor Swift Post Malone song though. It's a fantastic melody. Now
I haven't listened to it yet.
Now that video I'm looking right now only has 30 million views in 2 days. So it's not in 3 weeks. Not quite.
All right, so catch Zero on X, Twitter, whatever it's called these days. Not Threads, because he's not there and it sucks.
I'm on broadcast on Instagram, but don't go look at it, please.
Instagram, Facebook, website, all that good stuff. New project, None of Us Are Getting Out, comes out on July 19th, man. Thanks so much for hanging out.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the VORTX podcast. Catch Ethan inside the VORTX every Sunday night from 9 to midnight on Topeka's Rock Leader, V100.